right, boys and girls, today we are talking about comparing and ordering decimals. This is from your Module 2 book, page 331. So follow along with me while we complete page 331 in your book. Okay, so we are going to compare and order our decimals. We can look at the place value to compare them to see which is greater or least and to put them in order all the way to the thousandths if we need to. Okay, so this starts out and says the field goal percentage in basketball, so that's what we see here in our chart, is found by dividing the number of baskets made by the number of baskets attempted. And Hector compares the field goal percentages for Thomas and Lucas. So there's a lot to look at in this chart, but we know that we're going to look at Thomas and Lucas and we're going to see their stats right here. Okay. A says compare each place value working from left to right until you find a digit that is different. So let's do that. So remember, and I'm going to kind of highlight, I'm looking at Thomas and I'm looking at Lucas. Okay, so I'm comparing this field goal percentage. He compares the field goal percentage. Alright, so Thomas and Lucas each have a 0 in the ones. They each have a 4 in the tenths. They each have a 7 in the hundredths. Thomas has an 8 in the thousandths. Lucas has a 3 in the thousandths. So in which place value are the digits different? We just saw that they're different not until the thousandths. And that's how we do it. We read through, we do what it says. Okay, let's look. Compare the digits in the place value you found in part A. Use the less than symbol. Alright, so it wants us to compare those saying less than. Remember, less than, here's my hand, is always made with your left hand. So which one of those is smaller, 3 or 8? We would say 3. 3 is less than 8. Okay? Less than, I always say, is made with your left hand. Less than always points that way. Compare the digits using the greater than symbol. Same digits. So 8 is greater than 3. Compare the field goal percentages in two different ways. Use the less than and use the greater than. Okay? So when we're looking back here, we know that Lucas is smaller. So we can say 473 thousandths is less than 478 thousandths. If we want to do greater than, we would say 478 is greater than 473 thousandths. Which player has the higher field goal percentage? Well, the one that's greater would be Thomas. Right. Okay. Let's look at the next page. The table shows the field goal percentages of 3 players. What's the greatest place value position in which you find a digit that is different? Okay. So remember, the greatest place value, well, in this number, the biggest number we have is the ones, and they're all 0. Their tenths are all 4. But their hundredths, we have a 4, a 5, and a 4. So in our hundredths place is where we see that difference. We always start with our greatest value and work our way smaller. Use your answer from part J. What player has the greatest digit in this place value position? Alright, let's look back. We've got a 4, a 5, and a 4. We know that 5 is greater, so it's going to be Robinson. Move to the next lesser place value and compare the digit of the other two players. Which player has the greater digit? So we know right now that Robinson is number 1. His is the greatest. These had the same. They both had 4. So then we have to look again, look down. And then Ortega is 47. Alibi is 49. Which player has the greater? Well, I think it's Alibi. We're going to call him Alibi. Alibi is going to be the greatest. So order the players by name, by their field goal percentages from greatest to least. Okay? I'm going to write right up here because I knew he was the biggest, then Alibi, then Ortega. So we've got Robinson. I'm going to write over here to the side where I've got some more room. Robinson. Maybe I don't have enough room. Let's do it right here. Just kidding. Robinson. 452 thousandths. Alibi. 449 thousandths. And Ortega. 447. Now, they're pretty daggone close, right? This one is only 2 thousandths smaller. And then we've only got 3 thousandths difference here. So, they're very close to each other. Alright. So, now we're going to check our understanding and we're going to order from greatest to least. We need to find our biggest number. To me, looking at numbers this way can be a little tricky. It's up to you. I like to line them up on top of each other. So I'm going to rewrite mine over here to the side. I think that'll be helpful for you too. 3, 2, 1, 475 and 412 thousandths. 475 and 296 thousandths. Alright, we want to know them greatest to least. They are all the whole number 475. I'm not even looking at the whole numbers. I will only be looking at my decimals. So already, when I look at my tenths, I have 3, 3, 4, and 2. So right now, I know this third number is my greatest. So I'm going to write it over here. 475 and 412 thousandths. That's my greatest value. Okay? Then I had a 2, a 3, and 3. So I need to look at my 3's. They're the same. Then I look down again. I have a 1 and a 2. So that means this is my next greatest. 475 and 321. Guys, they're all the same amount. So you can look at it like 400, 321, 314, 296. Of course, next I'm going to have 314 thousandths. And my smallest is going to be that guy right there. Okay? And last, let's compare these. I have 76, 76, 924, 931. So 924 is less than 931 thousandths. When I look over here, 5,486, 5,486. But after the decimal, I have 329, 326. This number is a tiny bit larger, greater than that number. So, in our paperwork you got this week, when you're comparing values, this is a sheet you can look at. somewhere on there, write less than and greater so you can remember those symbols.